What's up, Kratom fans? I have a non-Kratom review video. This is one of the first general Kratom discussion videos that I'll be making. And this one is aimed more towards the vendors. All of the vendors out there, you really need to see this video because I speak for myself along with a few other smaller vendors and everybody that uses Kratom on a daily basis. I speak for all those people when I'm talking about what I have to talk about today. And that is Kratom strains. So, what I've found is that a lot of these vendors out there will call something Mang Da. And Mang Da is a specific strain. It is not a mixture. It is not, combine this and that. It is a specific strain. Same thing with the Bali, same thing with the Malaysian. So I have here is a list of trees, Kratom trees that I found on the internet, and there's not many. A few of them differ a little bit. So you might have the bumblebee. The bumblebee, I don't know where they grow, but let's just, say for instance, the bumblebee might grow in Borneo. It might grow in Sumatra, and, it might grow in Malaysia. Well, does that make the bumblebee that's in Sumatra any different than the one that's in Malaysia? No, it don't. The only way it might make it different is the climate that it grows in. It might be more potent, less potent because of the sunlight, the rainfall. Those are the variables. But in the base, in the core of all this is the bumblebee plant. Another one is the pink Indonesian. The pink Indonesian, it might grow, in all these different places, but in the core of it, it's pink Indo. Another one is the Rifat. The Rifat might grow in a couple places, but again, in the core, it's just a Rifat. So I have a request to all your vendors to put pressure on your suppliers for telling you what is in your Mang Da, what is in your Bali. Are they really selling you? Red Thai. Red Thai is another plant that at the core of it is different. It is unique. From the Rifat, the bumblebee, the pink Indonesian. The red Thai is a different strain altogether. So I'm asking you to put pressure on your SEO vendors to tell you what you're getting. Are you another one I was told about was the green Malaysian. Now there is a green Malaysian that is different than the bumblebee, the red Thai, the pink Indo. But most of you, the vendors are receiving green Malaysian that is a mixture. It's a recipe, which I have no problem with the recipes. The people out there have no problem with the recipes. But if that recipe has white vein, Kratom in there, and let's just say somebody that they don't react well with white vein, and they have a green vein that doesn't have the alkaloid content that the white vein has. And now all of a sudden, they could take Kratom and everything's fine. Well, how are they going to avoid from taking that alkaloid that's in the white vein if they don't know if there's white vein or not in a recipe? So I'm asking you as vendors to put pressure on your SEO cultivators, your vendors from overseas, to tell you whether or not what you're getting is a recipe or is it a real authentic strain such as the bumblebee, the Rifat, the red Thai, the pink Indo. I think this is a very, very important topic that the Kratom community needs to really get behind and start putting pressure on these SEO vendors to come clean. And it's not a problem. And when you do talk to your SEO vendors, be like, look, this is not a problem. This is a big deal, in America where the Kratom, the people who take Kratom, they decided enough was enough. You're not going to call MD, something that has white vein, red vein, and green vein mixed into it. You're not going to call that MD anymore. You're going to call it whatever it is. for instance, this lady I was talking to, she said, "Oh yeah, every red MD I had was energetic. Then all of a sudden I had this one that was very sedative, and it was wonderful." My guess is that it's this red Thai, because Thai is the original MD strain. The original MD was grown in Thai. It was a grafted plant. I'll get into what grafted means in another video, but it was a grafted Thai green vein plant. That is the original MD. Now today, all these other peoples are getting like recipes and formulas, and and like I said, that's good. It's in its own right, but those are, in the end, those are blends. Okay, and blends are good. They all have their purpose, but if somebody happens to know that they have an adverse reaction to white, like me with white, it makes me feel funny. I do not like white veins, and I've noticed that now that I've started dealing with these vendors that know what's in their kratom, and they could say, okay, this is just a green. I take that green. I feel wonderful. I feel great. For some reason, whites, they kind of make me feel a little funny. So if I could avoid that, I think that's a very important thing to be able to do. And it is up to you as a vendor to put pressure on your overseas vendors to tell you what you're getting. And then on your website, put down recipe MD, recipe Bali, recipe Malaysian, or put down pure Malaysian, pure MD, pure Bali. I'm not sure if Bali is a specific strain or not. I have to look into that a little bit more. But you get what I'm saying. This is a very important issue that I think we all need to get together and get behind one another on this and really deal with this, because this is important to me. And if it's important to me, then I know it's important to you, because I love what Kratom's done, in my life, and I've loved all the people that it's helping overcome addiction and pain and all this. But some people have adverse effects to certain kinds of strains, the white or the green or the red. It's very far and few between, but it's nice to know what's in your kratom. And I think this is a very important subject that we all need to start addressing. Sorry if I come across a little strong on this video. I'm usually more mellow, but again, this is very important to me. And so is it with this lady that I've been talking to. I'm sorry, I forget your name off the top of my head, but I just think that we need to start dealing with this. So thank you for giving me about 8 minutes of your time, and I hope to hear back from the vendors and also the consumers. If you agree with me, if this is important to you, please leave it in the comments. Don't just pass up this video and say, because if the vendors scroll down in the comments, say, yes, we want to know, then and only then will they actually put the pressure on their SEO vendors that sell them the kratom directly. So again, thank you. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Sunday. I look forward to doing more of these kratom general discussion videos. It's definitely something I want to get into. So I will leave it at that. You guys have a wonderful and blessed day.